Our next topic is entitled List of Agricultural Organizations in the Philippines. So we have the first one is the Department of Agriculture, or abbreviated as DA. In Tagalog or in Filipino, it is called as Kagawaran ng Pagsasaka. So this is responsible for the promotion of agricultural and fisheries development and growth. It was formed last June 23, 1898, and the current secretary is Dr. William D. Dar, which was nominated by the President of the Philippines, which is Rodrigo Duterte. The second one is the Department of Agrarian Reform, or abbreviated or also known as DAR. So it is Kagawaran ng Reformang Pansakahan in Filipino, and they are responsible for the redistribution of agrarian land in the Philippines. So the secretary for this department is John R. Castriciones. They have an annual budget for 2017 of 9.8 billion pesos. It was formed or created last September 10, 1970. Next we have is the Land Bank of the Philippines. The Land Bank of the Philippines, it is also known as LBP. In Tagalog, it is Bangko sa Lupa ng Pilipinas. So it is a universal bank in the Philippines owned by the Philippine government with a special focus in serving the needs of farmers and fishermen. So that's why the Land Bank of the Philippines has different programs or projects that will have to serve the Filipino farmers. They will have to offer credit loans to help the farmers for their financial capability to use this money as capital to their farm. So while it provides the services of a universal bank, it is officially classified as a special government bank with a universal banking license. It is also the fourth largest bank in the Philippines in terms of assets, and it is the largest government-owned bank. So unlike most Philippine banks, Land Bank has an extensive rural branch. It has a total of 365 branches with 1,607 ATMs. So most of its clients is in rural areas where banking also is limited to rural banks or non-existence. They have this motto, which is we help you grow. Next we have is the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, or BPRE. It is an agency under the Department of Agriculture with a responsibility for the development, improvement, management, and of course conservation of the Philippines fisheries and aquatic resources. So anything that will have to do with the aquatic resources, then you will have to go to BPRE. So BPRE is also known in Tagalog as Kawanihan ng mga Pangisdaan at mga Yamang Tubig. Then we have here IRI. IRI, or also known as the International Rice Research Institute. It is an international agricultural research which is located at Los Baños, Laguna in the Philippines. And also, it has offices in 17 countries. So, one of the work of IRI is developing the rice varieties that contributed to the Green Revolution in 1960. It was established in 1960 and with the objectives to reduce poverty. So it advances its mission through collaborative research, partnership, and the strengthening of national agricultural research and extension system of the country's IRRI works. So, IRRI is one of the 15 agricultural research center of CIJAR, or also known as Consortium of International Agricultural Research Center. And it is also considered as the largest non-profit agricultural research center in Asia. Then we have another one. It is also under the Department of Agriculture, and they will have to focus on the production of high-yielding and cost-reducing technologies for farmers, which they will have to focus on rice. So, Philrice was created through Executive Order 1061 on November 5, 1985. So, they wanted to accomplish their mission through research and development work in their central office and, of course, their 6 branch station and 57 agencies with 70 seed centers located nationwide. So, in Central Mindanao University, Philrice has seeds, they have the seed center. Next is the Agricultural Training Institute. Of course, their focus is to develop or promote or conduct training to workers and their clientele, which is to ensure that research results are communicated to the farmers through appropriate training and extension activities. So, it is also known as surian ng pagsasanay sa pagsasaka. The Bureau of Plant Industry, so they will have to look into the Philippine plant industry sector. So, anything that will deal with plants, of course, they are responsible for serving and supporting this sector. For the Bureau of Soils and Water Management, they will have the responsibility of providing advices and providing assistance to farmers, which if they will have problem or concerns related to the utilization of soils and water. Remember that water and soil is, of course, one vital agricultural resources. So we cannot produce any crop yields or livestock without our water and soil resources. So anything, for example, sampling of soil, it will have to do with the BSWM or the kawanihan ng pamamahala sa mga lupa at tubig. For SRA, of course, the Sugar Regulatory Administration, they will have to focus on the promotion of growth and development of sugar industry in the Philippines. So they wanted also to help the private sector and improve the working conditions of the laborers in the sugarcane. So since there are already a lot of problems on the laborers of sugarcane sector here in the Philippines, then this agency or organization will have to take good care of that. So SRA is under also in the Department of Agriculture. So in terms of fiber production, it will have to deal with Fiber Industry Development Authority, or also known as PhilFIDA. So this organization will have to promote the accelerated growth and development of fiber industry in the Philippines. So these fiber products or crops are abaca, pineapple, and others. So when was this created? It was created last July 27, 1981 by the Executive Order number 709. So in 2014, the Philippines provided 87.4% of the world's abaca production, while Bicol region produced 27,885 metric tons of abaca in 2014. A total of 176,594 hectares of abaca were produced in Bicol region. Philippine Coconut Authority, or the PCA or PhilCoA, which have to deal or will deal with the coconut sector or other palm oil industry. It is also under the Department of Agriculture, and they have to take good care or to develop this industry to its full potential with its new vision of being a globally competitive and efficient industry in the world. Next we have is the BAR, or the Bureau of Agricultural Research. It is also under the Department of Agriculture, and it is responsible for ensuring that all agricultural research is coordinated and undertaken for maximum utility to agriculture. That's why they will have to provide those funds for researchers to improve yields of the farmers. So we have here in Tagalog, kawanihan ng pananaliksik sa agrikultura. In terms of fertilizer and pesticide, that would be in the Department of FPE, or Fertilizer and Pesticide Authority. So this one is a technical regulatory agency of the Philippine Department of Agriculture. They will have to assure that the supply of fertilizer and pesticide is at reasonable prices, and of course to make sure that the public is protected from the risk of this pesticide and fertilizer. Another rule or responsibility of FPA is to educate individuals in agricultural sector on how to use such fertilizer and pesticide. So that would be their concern, helping our farmers and other individuals on how to apply these pesticides, what are their advantage and disadvantage, what will be the effect of these fertilizer and pesticides to the human body. Next we have is the BPRE, or the Bureau of Post-Harvest Research and Extension, which is formerly known as NAFIRE or NAFIRE, the National Post-Harvest Institute for Research and Development. It was created last May 24, 1978, and of course, it was a subsidiary of the NGA, which is now NFA. So in 1986, BPRA became an attached agency of the Department of Agriculture through the Executive Order 116. Also, the BPRE has been continuously engaged in both post-harvest research and extension activities, and because of the AFMA 8435, BPRE is the leading organizations in providing assistance to our farmers to avoid post-harvest losses, and of course to secure or to help in the food security of the Philippines. Maraming salamat and mabuhay!